It's been years since the Powderpelago came to life. Day after day, new developments are made, and new friends seek a safe home here. And yet, despite all these changes taking place on the many islands in the Powderpelago, there has always been one place in particular I have yet to explore extensively. The ocean surrounding the Powderpelago has always shielded the islands from outside intruders with a magical barrier. This barrier also keeps the islands hidden and off the radar, hence its name, the Veiled Sea. Although I didn't put this barrier in place, I've always been grateful for its presence. I've always been curious about the Veiled Sea, due to the amount of living, extinct, wondrous, and ridiculous life found in the Powderpelago's ocean. And it was only until I discovered a robo-fish off Dreamlight Valley that one day I decided it was time to finally explore the Veiled Sea and discover what secrets lay within. I hired some humans in secret to help in my investigation, along with an AI assistant named Sarah who was built into my new diving suit. Once on Dreamlight Valley, we set out into the Veiled Sea. It was a lush world underwater. Before long, we entered a mysterious cave where we discovered something extraordinary. Before me was a huge, impressive coral reef, which we named the World Coral. As beautiful as it was, something was wrong. We noticed that the coral was decaying and dying. This very coral tree was responsible for keeping the waters of the Powderpelago alive, clean, and vibrant. If the world coral was to die, it would spell disaster for all life in the Veiled Sea. Many of my friends and neighbors rely on the Powderpelago's ocean to live. I couldn't let this happen, so I set out to restore the world coral to its former glory. On my way out of the cave, I spotted something I'd never seen before. A giant golden fish, which looked just like a coelacanth. I knew that coelacanths lived around Freshberg's waters, but I had never seen one this big. I was so startled by this I swam back to the surface to share what I had learned with my crew. The next day I dived right back in to try and find that fish again. I encountered a few smaller fish along the way. I even encountered Powderpian resident Goldfish, who was peacefully swimming around that day. I even picked up some treasure along the way. One of these treasures was an ancient stone slab. This slab was most likely made by the Oans people, an old forgotten civilization who called the Powderpelago their home before I did. I figured this would help in my exploration of these waters. The more sea life and treasures I discovered, the more alive the world coral appeared to be. Eventually I spotted that giant golden fish again, which me and my team called Raja Emas, the Golden King. I had a feeling this big guy would not be the only anomaly the Veiled Sea had to offer. How exciting!